6, maybe?
6. We're going to take a little break from fitness and whatever you call what we talk about. And we're going to only talk about bullcrap like we always do in the first 10 minutes of videos. So, I know this can be long-winded, but let's just keep it semi-short. Top 3 inspirational movies.
Yeah, top time. 3's hard, man.
Deal with it. We can go to top 1 and it makes it harder.
I don't have a top 1 movie. I have too many.
What's one of yours, Alex?
Gladiator.
Gladiator? Why?
Because it's like the purest definition of what a man is.
I get it.
He conquers. But he did, like, the whole thing was like, all he wanted to be was with his family again. And he did all that just so he can be with his family. And then at the end, even though he died, he was with his family. So yeah, he had to go through all that suffering and pain and adversity, and he still ended up with the family. And he didn't just make impact on himself, he made impact on thousands and thousands and thousands, maybe even millions of people, because they chose him over their own king.
I didn't even realize it was out loud until you turned it off.
It's probably going to be pretty loud on the video. I got
It
it.
usually is always loud in the video. So yeah, that's why.
I really like Last Samurai.
That's good.
It's one of my favorites. I saw it in theaters when I was like young, and
You were young. I saw it in theaters.
it's a really good movie. I've always loved samurai. I've always loved sword fighting and stuff, and it was just really. That was really inspirational. It was really good. I don't know what to say about it. But I said I really loved it.
Well, even with sword fighting, that's why I kind of like, as a young kid, I liked watching The Gladiator, and I still do now, because it's like, it's an art that, like sword fighting is an art that is lost.
Yeah.
Well, some people do it, but it's that they don't do it to kill each other.
Yeah, it's not anything
It's
like it used to be.
like it used to be. Whereas like the best man wins, because if not, you're dead.
I also really liked it because it was accurate in the sense that the sword fights don't last like forever like they do in Hollywood. Like they're like bound dead, and they did a really good job with that. I thought it was good. Tom Cruise did a good job, even though he's an overacting douchebag.
Well, I just thought it was good because it was like him in a, like he was like, obviously was struggling with the PTSD.
Oh,
And then he went into like and of course the enemy, where the samurai, ended up where he almost was able to make up for what he did.
and he was accepted as one of their own too. So, and he learned their language. He learned how to fight. It was crazy. He learned everything.
Took a lot of courage to, side with them against his countrymen. Took a lot of courage to, address that the U.S. was in the wrong, and that going along with it wasn't right, even though it was really impossible for them to win. But just the fact he had enough courage to stand up for what was right and side with this side.
Plus, like, I really liked Bob, and I really liked Yujiro, and I was sad that they both died. Yujiro was just a badass dude. It's freaking awesome. What about you, Brian?
As far as inspiration, I'm a huge fan of Good Will Hunting. I love Robin Williams, and I like Matt Damon a lot, but just the message it puts across of, like, talent doesn't mean anything if you don't do anything with it. The main character is a genius. Like, he's a mathematical savant, and he's a janitor at a college because he didn't have any motivation or drive. And his reasons for that were kind of set in his childhood and upbringing, but it really drove home for me that, like, whatever you're given, you almost have an obligation to do something with it, because there are people that would kill for what he could do.
Oh yeah.
And he found that in the end. He found that motivation, and he found that obligation, like, even to his friends, to make something better of his life, because he had the potential to do it. really went home for me. I thought it was a really good point to make.
It also showed that like if you have good friends, they're gonna push you.
Yeah,
Because his buddy, like, didn't he kick him out of his house? Like, he's like,
he said that every time I come to your house, I hope you're not there. So I
Yeah.
hope you've moved on and gone on to something better. Which, like, it sounds like a dick thing to say, but really what he's saying is like, I want the best for you and it's not here.
that's what a
So I
true
don't
friend
want
would
you to
do
be-
for you.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I thought it was a great movie.
Next.
It's not a good one. Braveheart, of course. Freedom!
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Braveheart's good.
He got his balls cut off, he got disemboweled, and he still yelled freedom.
Yeah.
Didn't give up. Yeah.
And I know the movie's not historically 100%, but William Wallace was an actual man, and he actually did oppose England and rallied his countrymen together,
Yeah.
which, that's incredible. In any day and age to do that, but just with how, like, torn apart Scotland was, and, and divided, and everybody was fighting for power, that he was able to do that on his own. That's pretty cool.
Well, and he did it all, like even in the beginning, well, with the movie. At first he was like, no, because it was more about peace, and he didn't want to cause issues and war and contention. But right when his family got involved, it was the game over. Like he knew, because it was directly going to impact his family and his life and their lives. So he was like, nope. So taking charge in himself. Inspirational. I think it's once again another movie a young man should see. It teaches you how you should treat your family,
Yeah.
at least.
The Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Dude, I was about to say it.
Yeah. It's up there with Star Wars, but it's super inspirational if you really break it down.
Yeah,
There's a lot of killing, there's a lot of death, and it's freaking amazing. But it's also like two of the weakest beings in all Middle Earth, like take down the Dark Lord.
Well, and it's all races, culture, all came together
Yeah.
to help that. I feel like that already should be like it's like a theme, a good theme for the world today. Is there's so much
Diversity.
The diversity, but if we all come together, we can pretty much accomplish anything. And if you look in history already, it's like when things like, part of my language, when shit hits the fan, the world comes together, fixes it, and they go back to their ways. And it's similar to the movies, is they kind of just once they hit some piece and they kind of spread out, then it happens.
Yeah. Yeah, Lord of the Rings is amazing.
The closest to the books you're ever gonna get. I've read the books. The books were a lot more detailed, but the movies did.
A little bit of a tough read at times because he
Yeah.
likes to go way into detail and
In depth about every side story
everything.
think of.
A lot of symbolism too in the story, and it's not just as shallow as like good versus evil, which isn't necessarily shallow, but there's a lot of complexities. There's redemption, and kind of showing like everyone's weak in a way,
Yeah.
and no one can do it on their own. Even the strongest characters, you see that they fall prey to weakness, and then the weakest characters find their strength, and it shows that everyone's capable of being great, and then everyone's capable of falling too.
Doesn't matter how good you are, you're still gonna be tempted.
Yeah.
But it also shows good friends are important to have. Slap you in the face when need be. Help finish the job.
Mr. Frodo.
What's your next one, Brian? Number 2.
hit my list, but
Bourne trilogy. Yeah.
Bourne trilogy is really good.
Trilogies count as one.
That's all three.
No.
Skip me, come back. I gotta think of a good one.
What's your next?
Have you guys seen the Princess Mononoke?
Oh, dude, I haven't even thought about that. Yeah, that's a good one.
Seen that?
It's like, I used to watch that when I was little. You know how when you're little you like force yourself to dream about it because it was so cool. And
Oh,
you
yeah,
the
man.
world.
Dude, that was a good movie. You need to watch that.
Really
It's an
good.
anime. I don't know if you're way into anime, but
It's the best anime. I feel like I forgot who made those.
he made another one about a girl
Yeah,
that
it's like
like
12.
it messes with ghosts. Like
Yeah, I've seen that.
that was
too.
a really good. Spirited Away.
Yeah, I have it on DVD. I have them both on DVD. But it's just the symbolism, again, of how when evil hits, symbolism again of how when evil hits, it's just sometimes it's up to one person, one man, one boy to take charge and fix it and see what the source is and what ends up happening. You gotta see it, Brian.
And in the face of absolute adversity. And
His life is a
yeah, and it's practically over. Like it's crazy. That's such a good movie. I forgot about that.
You gotta watch it.
And I'm gonna say it's really a hard choice, but I'm gonna say John Wick because it's just like one man with a mission who has nothing to lose can freaking destroy everything
He lost it all.
and lost everything.
He didn't have it.
Yeah. And then he killed everyone, and it was amazing.
I feel like this is just getting into actors. I feel like Keanu Reeves is like only good at movies where he doesn't have to talk much because he's not a great actor. But with that role, like it fits his personality.
Yeah.
Because he's huge into the martial arts outside of his movies.
He put so much work into it, and he did all his own stunts, and he didn't think it was a big deal that he did all his own stunts, but like the directors were so happy he did all of them, because then they could really pull back and just not have so many cutaways. And like the Taken movies, like there are so many cutaways because he's not doing his own stunts. And in John Wick, they were able to pull back and just watch all the action happen right in front of them, and it was so good.
It's another man movie. I know it's a little brutal, but it's still like it's like what good men will do for
Yeah.
their family and their name.
I mean, it's up there with anything that has Tony Jaa in it. You seen that guy do so? Tony Jaa is insane. I can't remember any of his movies. They're all the same. He's badass. Figured out yet, Brian? Now you have two to go.
Yeah. What Dreams May Come. Have you guys heard of that?
Isn't that Robin Williams?
Yeah,
Robin
yeah.
Williams goes to
Oh, it's
hell,
good.
right? Just gonna-
Yeah.
Is that one?
Kind of the basis is his kids die in an accident, and then his wife dies. That's the kind of the start of the movie, and of course he's devastated. But he kind of goes through this. It's all like I guess imaginary, but he goes on this journey where he goes like to the other side beyond the veil. Meets his kids and then finds his wife, and like it's kind of like a Dante's Inferno type thing. Like he has to go to hell to find his wife because she committed suicide,
Yeah.
and so he was under the impression that she would be denied heaven, you know, and like he basically comes to terms with the fact of his wife passing and kind of has like a moment of closure with her, even if it's just in his head, where he just kind of accepts what's happened and is able to move on, and then he has like moments of closure with his kids where he's able to convey how he feels and stuff, and they kind of convey, that they're not gone, they've passed, like they're waiting for him. It kind of puts him at ease, but I thought it was a really good it was a really good movie to teach people how to deal with loss. I feel like inspirational in that sense, and it's like it's a tearjerker for sure. And then it's a really visual movie, like 'cause it's like really in detail. Like when he's in hell, it's like awful. It's like it's hard to watch at times. And like there's parts where he's like with his kids and they're like in this amazing part of like nature, and it's like so colorful and like beautiful. So it's a really cool visual aspect to it as well. It's an emotional movie. So I like that one a lot.
Got one more, bro.
I got another one.
Yeah.
Well, that's 2. I have another 3.
You haven't done 3?
I thought we all had.
Oh, he told you. I did 3.
I got a third. Legends of the Fall. You seen that?
I don't think so.
Brad Pitt and Anthony Hopkins. That's a good one.
No, I haven't
That's
heard
a
of it.
really good one. It's kind of old. It's probably like 20 years old or so, but it's set in Montana, like right around World War I. These 3 brothers live with their dad, just like this farm in Montana. All 3 of them go to the war, and the youngest brother dies. And it kind of really like hits hard with like family bonds. Like no matter what, no matter what happens, you always come back to your family. You always are part of your family, and you take care of each other. Because like they go through a lot. Like the fiance of the brother who dies falls in love with the other brother, and it causes a lot of problems. They all have falling outs with their dad. Their dad has to deal with his son's loss, and then things that happen after that. Just a bunch of stuff. But like in the end, they all come back home, and they all come back together, and basically kind of put aside all those things that happened. And then the main character, his kind of story arc too of what happens to him is kind of inspirational. He goes through a lot of things, like he has to deal with his brother's loss, and kind of drives him insane. And he leaves for a long time and kind of finds himself again, and then comes home. So that was a really good movie. I liked it a lot. It's good.
I'll watch it.
Legends of the Fall. Hook? Yeah!
Dude, have you watched it recently? I tried watching it, and it's actually really like I used to love it as a kid. It's kind of hard to watch as an adult.
It's cheesy, like the strings when they fly. How you can just tell they're on a string cable. And
Yeah.
that part's funny.
It's still a good movie.
Yeah.
I made fun of the other day that black kid that rolls into a ball.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not that big.
Okay.
I'm definitely not that flexible.
I think the storyline is awesome. It makes you realize that you should take care of your family and
Yeah.
make sure you give them attention, because you never know when they can leave. And but I just like it's just very it was really creative with how, and then like seeing Robin Williams grow through the stages.
Yeah. And realize that like,
Yes.
he needs his kids.
But like in the movie, I'm sitting as a kid, I'm like, okay, get to the cool part where he starts flying, come on. That's where the cool starts
Yeah.
happens. Like I love the food scene. It's all
Yeah.
fake, but they just like, it's not bad. As a kid, I was like, I'm so hungry.
So I'm gonna cheat, because Band of Brothers and the Pacific I think go hand in hand. Band of Brothers is almost a documentary. I mean, it's really it's all about the brotherhood, and it's all about like how people come together in war, and how they become brothers, obviously. And then in the Pacific, I thought was more the mental aspect, and it taught about like PTSD during war and how war really F's with people. And I thought it's really inspirational, especially for people that struggle with that, because it shows them that they're not alone and there are people there to help them. And yeah, it's really, both of those are incredibly inspirational for me. And yeah,
Like, I think one of the top, like I like The Lone Survivor just because it makes you realize that, yeah, I was in the Marine Corps, but I was in the supply and sat behind a desk. These guys are the Navy SEALs that trained to and keep going. Like,
Oh my gosh, so many times they all got shot, dude.
yeah, like he should have been dead. But
Different-
no, like,
different
it just shows
breed.
Yeah.
Just a different kind of human being for sure.
It's like obviously they feel pain, but they train their mind to don't even think about it because what's more important, the mission. Makes me like, I don't know, I feel like when a lot of people think of the military, that's what they think about. They don't think about all the other odd jobs that are involved that 99% of everyone does.
Yeah.
But like the people that are actually in combat are special. It takes someone special.
You know, the funny part is everybody like, you know, infantry is not glorious because a lot of times you go up and you pull security on a mountain while the cool guys go to actually do the real mission. Yeah, we got to do that a lot. That was really boring. Most of our job was pulling security.
Yeah, all jobs are. I mean, my job. I'm 20, 25 miles away from what I'm shooting at. Like,
Yeah, but
you know what I mean?
we need you.
Yeah, it's needed. You're definitely not like front and center. You know, you're not the quarterback of the Army. That's for sure. But the guys that are the quarterback, there's a reason that's what they are. Is, you know, like that's what they're made to do, and they do it better than anyone else on the planet. So, much respect.
We can even go into, that's why not everyone can be in the infantry or to be like recon or the Navy SEAL, Special Forces. Not everyone, you can't make those an equal opportunity.
Dude, I don't know how a lot
Can't.
of these guys do it for so long. Like after 5 years, I broke my back. You know, like these guys are insane.
It's just they're made for that. Like it's like genetics, because a lot of them will drop out of school because their bodies can handle it, their mind can't handle it. But the guys that can mentally push and physically can handle a lot are the less than 1% that we need, and they're not just these. Oh, I feel like it's equal opportunity, and I need to do that. I don't know. I just think that any war movie shows, they're pretty realistic with like how the mindset works, and
Yeah.
even though things don't happen perfectly, you still suck it up and do it.
What was that?
You're trained to do it. That's why training's hard, because during a mission you have to do it. Like real life happens. You get shot. It's not 15 shots and I lost a couple life points. No, you have one shot, you're pretty much dead. But
Yeah, or you might be different the rest of your life.
Unless you're my old platoon sergeant, you get shot in the butt and you get shot in the elbow, and then you just like. So he got shot in the elbow, and he was super pissed off about it. And he came back after a couple months. And we went on a mission again. It was like the first mission, and he got shot in the ass. And you hear like over the radio they're making the 9-9. He's like, "Not again! God damn it, not again!"
Yeah, that's badass. He's just pissed off that he got shot.
Yeah.
well, that's another tangent we go off into.
Yeah. We always do. That's okay.
that will get real long-winded. No, those were good movies. Good points made, good morals, really good takeaways from all those movies I think we talked about.
I think Hacksaw Ridge is also a really good takeaway.
Yeah.
Pretty much any war movie that's similar to that. I mean,
I like just Saving Private Ryan. It's good.
Private?
Yeah, Private Ryan. I'm tired of stumbling through things. But yeah, let's just keep it at 3, keep it short. But all right, let's cut it.
Ready?
Ready?